Hey everybody, it's Dr. Rimka coming to you from my car because I have a few minutes of some empty time. So I figured I'd see if anybody wanted any help or I could answer any questions. What I'll talk about briefly, it's interesting, we're hiring a new receptionist front desk person, and we've had a few different people in. And today we're doing some working interviews. And today I actually interviewed somebody that we think is going to start with us, might be a good fit. And I forget sometimes what other people go through or how they live life. Because I've been in this holistic, natural, or vitalistic way of thinking for probably 26 years, longer. So I was first adjusted at 16. And I started having a vitalistic, principled chiropractor start brainwashing me in his brainwashing way. It wasn't until about 19 when I became seriously injured and then sick by breaking my back and herniating a disc in my back, and then having my thyroid crash and becoming hypothyroid, and a whole cascade of fibromyalgia and all this stuff happened at 1920 and really kind of devastated my health, and traditional doctors had nothing good to say about any of it. It was no hope or anything. So it was through my own study and research and my chiropractor that I started changing everything. So asking this woman today, like, what is her experience of any of this natural kind of stuff? And she's really fascinated, and like, I'm like, do you want to work here? She's like, yeah, it's so interesting. I'm learning so much. It's like this whole world of things I've never even heard of. And I like, really? And again, because I've been in this little cocoon, the subculture of chiropractors, functional medicine physicians, acupuncturists, esoteric spiritual people. This is who I hang out with. These are all my friends. This is how I live my life. These are the things I do. They're my go-tos. So why is it like some of us are considered alternative or holistic, and then you have the regular? I don't know what the holistic, why we have to have it's like organic and non-organic. Why shouldn't all the food just be organic? And then you should say the toxic chemical crap was over there if you want that crap, right? So if we're holistic, looking at the whole person, what is the other thing? So what it is mechanistic, right? So let me say the way I look at things, and the way all holistic or alternative or acupuncturists or any of these things that aren't traditional ways of approaching it, we're vitalists, meaning we think there's a deeper spark within a person that's bringing vitality and life force into them. A mechanistic way of looking at things is the new westernized medicine. So newer, that's a very new field, right? Chinese medicine is 5,000 years old. Ayurvedic medicine, 5,000 or plus years old. So all these Eastern ways that everything that I studied and things that are extrapolated off of are very, very old. This new way of cut it out, drug it up is an incredibly new way of treating the body. It's very, very short-lived in the history of healing arts. Like if you have this, then you have this new medicine that we're called alternative. We have 5,000 years of it. It's like the whole organic, non-organic thing. It's really ridiculous, and it's a brilliant marketing and branding. So they've made the healthy thing sound stupid and special instead of, no, you're the toxic poison, and why don't you just say it? So asking her today about some of the stuff, like if she's had experience, because anybody who works in my office, I obviously need them to be congruent with our mission, right? And I'm a vitalist, and making a suggestion like, oh, you have a fever, you should take a Tylenol, is like sheer heresy in my office. That's like the worst blasphemy somebody could ever say. And not everybody who I can hire right away is going to come from a family that's grounded in those principles that are taught this way. So I had to go, oh, right, I forgot that's what people do. Like, I've been so fortunate to surround myself with my tribe for so long. I sometimes forget what's going on in the regular places while people are being taught in other places. So a mechanist kind of looks at it like you're the sum of your parts. You can cut everything out, and this is cardiovascular system, this is a nervous system, this is this. And in an ideal world, it's really a mechanic, and you're like a car, and all your parts can be taken apart and they can all be put back together, and you can just work just fine. So we know pretty much if you chop up a human, you can take a car apart and all the parts and get somebody early, and they put it all back together, and it's going to work. You can't do that with a human body, though. You can't chop it all up and put it all back together. It's not going to work anymore, right? Why? It should. All the parts are sewed back together. You had the best surgeons doing everything. Why isn't that body able to be just recharged and go again? And it comes from the premise of we're coming from, there's a different spark. There's a life force coming from some universal intelligence, some other spark energy. Some people can call that spirit, soul. If you can look at it, it's just straight electrical. There is something that happens that's a charge, and when it's gone, you seem to be gone. So a vitalist has a very different way of approaching it. And I'm a vitalist at heart, more than anything. That's what I am first. Any other degree or title that comes with what I do is all because I'm a vitalist, because I think the body's always doing the best thing to heal you. It's always doing whatever's in your best interest, period. So whether that's a tumor, whether that's a fibroid, whether that's a big scar, if you make keloids, whether your thyroid starts crashing, whether you are having headaches, whether you get a fever, whether you're vomiting, those are all signs of health. That's how we look at it. So something like a fever, let's take for example, that is, I'm going to say it's the most important healing mechanism you have. It's a brilliant immune response that is perfection. And instead of allowing your body to have the fever, to go in and get the army just all in line, like send all the top soldiers, like ramp them up on steroids basically with the fever, to go in and pulverize the invaders, which the fever slows them down, it speeds our guys up, we come in and we crush them and rip them out, right? The fever is brilliant. So not only is it dealing with that current pathogen that you've encountered, that it immobilizes your forces, it slows them down, it creates this whole big amazing process. It's a little uncomfortable, so it slows you down because you don't need to be wasting energy running away anymore. You have to lie down and rest. Okay? So if your body needs to be 103.2 degrees, like, because it knows what temperature it needs to be to kill that whatever pathogen, it might need to be 101, it might need to be 103.4, it might need to be 104.5, whatever. And if you keep suppressing it with drugs that are actually destroying your liver's ability to produce glutathione, which is what a Tylenol does, devastates your liver, stops it from making glutathione, one of the worst things you could absolutely give to a person who's fighting an infection, because glutathione is your main detoxifying agent in the body. And that's becoming the standard thing to tell families to do after they have an infection or after they get a vaccine. It's like, oh, don't worry, take some Tylenol. It's very, very dangerous advice because of what it's actually doing to the liver, to the glutathione, what's there to protect you from any toxin that's coming in. But let's just get back to a straight fever. Don't you think your body knows what it's doing? A fever is designed as a number one immune response to some pathogen load, and it's there to destroy it. Why do you want to take a drug to suppress your body's natural immune response? And see, that's what we say. That's where we're coming from. You have a headache. We say, why do you have a headache? Did you not sleep? Did you have too much caffeine? Did you listen to loud music? Did you hit your head? Did you not drink any water? Are you hungry? There's lots of questions. It's not, you have a headache because you have a deficiency of acetaminophen in your blood. That's why you have a headache. No, that's not why you have a headache. There is no such thing as a deficiency of acetaminophen or aspirin or ibuprofen in your blood. That is not why you have a headache. So we're trying to figure out what that is, and can we just go to the cause and deal with it? So that's kind of the difference between a mechanist and a vitalist. And more Western approaches are starting to start to think this way. So if you want to look up something and Google something, vitalism is a good thing to kind of look at, like, what are the theories behind that? And we're just basically believing your body knows exactly what it's doing. It's designed in perfection. And who are we to come in there and think we know better than it? So everything that I do, we do in the office, any type of assessment, yes, we understand what norms are, but if I see something out of norm, why is that? What is that body trying to do? Why is it driving that estrogen so high? Why is the testosterone low? Why is there a fibroid? Let's figure that out, because I guarantee you it's doing everything it is doing to save you. Why are you getting a bunch of abdominal fat? There's a reason. Your body is protecting you. in every moment. So when I see somebody who's frustrated and thinks their body has failed them, never. It never does. It's doing amazing things for you. So again, that's the difference of vitalism and mechanism. And my son's pulling up right now. He's done with his yoga class. So I'm going to go because I don't see any questions. And that's it, unless he wants to get on camera. I'm doing a live.
With who?
Facebook.
Oh.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, no, bye.
Okay, I'm all done. See you guys.